this topic. As you probably were aware that the current situation or thing that happened over the last few years in the world, we see such a chaotic and hectic world being
Suaranya nggak kedengaran.
okay. Okay. As I said, we probably will aware that the current situation in the world is not really good. Tidak sedang baik-baik saja. Be the atrocity of war, such as the case of Gaza right now, almost pop up every day in our television and social media and anywhere else. We also have problem with refugee. We also have problem with human trafficking. Many things else. So today we try to discuss the humanitarian issues from the angle of compassion and empathy. We have Professor Ahmad Mutakin, Professor of Comparative Religion, the Department of Studies in Religion at State University, Islamic State University Sunan Kalijaga, and we also have Professor Amal Jiva Lokan from Delhi University. He is also a representative of IAR, International Association of History of Religion, right? Perhaps he also give us a light not only about the topic that we will discuss, but also the topic about IAR himself. So how we going to meet the demand and the requirement and anything else. Professor Amarjita will talk about loving and kindness from the perspective of Indian tradition, be it from Hindu and Buddhism, and how it also translated into other religion, including in Islam. We also have word Rahmah. In Indian tradition, they have Metta, Maitra, Karuna, Ahimsa, something like that. So perhaps from this point of view, we can also see how we as religious scholar deal with the current issues of the world. Should we just stand and watch, or should we do something about it? And in one way, we can contribute or deal with the problem. And Professor Ahmad Mutakin will talk about deep religiosity, where it draw from deep learning of religion, plus the
Deep love.
the
Deep love.
deep love and religiosity, and AR, applied religious studies, which is us in this department, in this association, I think have really good chance to develop it. So within this concept, maybe we can say something about how we as scholar deal with the humanitarian issue itself. So without further ado, I give the presentation to Professor Ahmad Mutakin first. Monggo Bapak.
Me first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sesuai
Hanifan man first.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone, and Professor Ahmad Jifas, my beloved friend, had contact each other maybe since last year, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, through Prof. Aleph. Yeah. One day, Prof. Aleph contacted me just in time when I finished my job as a resident of Asai.
Say in bahasa.
Yeah.
Prof. Aleph not listening.
Ya, Prof. Aleph will understand. Ya. Jadi waktu itu Prof. Aleph kontak saya, just saya ketika sudah selesai memimpin Asai. we actually try to connect with AHNR since we set up the assign about 15 years ago. And we already discussed with EHLR committee, Professor Morni Joy, and he came to Jogja many times, but just talk and talk. It's very different from Professor Ahmad Jiwa, when he come and he did what we call gospel. And he guide us how to connect with EHLR from step by step. And that's why finally he came here. Thank you very much, Professor Ahmad Jiwa. And the committee asked me to share my perspective about the topic on religion, love, and humanity. And it is just timely when we connect to what right now developed by a true ministry. Yeah. The Ministry of Education developed what they call as deep learning, and then the Ministry of Religion developed what they call of kurikulum cinta, yang tadi baru aja dijelaskan. And then I will connect between the two of the new approach on the educations, deep learning and deep love, through what I call as a deep religiosity. And the goal of this is actually no more than a better interreligious harmony with progress. This is to connect with what our concentration, jadi untuk mengkonekkan dengan apa yang menjadi core studi kita. And I prepare my presentation based on this flow. Yeah, I will explore both the backgrounds and then a little bit discuss about the impact of disruption in many areas of life, especially in education. And these disruptions actually, of course, yeah, will give us many impacts, and we have to face it with new challenge. But behind the new challenge, there are many new opportunities if we can adapt to the disruption and the changing in that disruption. And in order to able find many opportunities because of the disruption, we have developed new competencies. And then I will little bit explain about the deep learning and then applied religious studies, and then deep religiosity, deep love, and I will end with how to build better interreligious harmony with progress. Okay, this is one background. The first background I want to explain. If we look at to the PISA score, the last score I think in 2022, because right now in 2025, ongoing process for the PISA as right now around the world. And if you look at here, jadi kalau kita lihat skor PISA Indonesia, ini masuk di kategori bangsa-bangsa yang red color ini. Red color, skor Indonesia itu 69. 69th rank around the world. Dari berapa? Dari 81. In 2022, I think India withdrew from this rank. I don't know why, maybe Professor Jiwa can explain. But this indicates that the quality of our educations. And if you look at in what area is the less, ya. Jadi ini ada 3 area, matematika, membaca, dan sains. Yang ironis itu ternyata skor membaca, reading score is the lowest one compared to math and science. What does that mean? Ini bisa menandakan bahwa memang reading habit masyarakat kita rendah. Ketika reading habit rendah, maka ya reading comprehension-nya juga jeblok. Dan saya ada gambar tapi nggak saya tampilkan, maka jangan kaget kalau kemarin ada temuan di Bali itu siswa SMP tidak bisa baca dan sekian persen itu, tapi bisa medsos. Ini ironi. Jadi kemudian anak-anak yang kemarin ikut UTBK itu skor terjelek itu di reading, di comprehension. Ini PR kita ya. And then, but there is one that maybe kita bangga karena kita itu juara dalam konteks agama. In terms of religion, we are number one. We are among world most religious countries in 2024. This number 7 Indonesia after Somalia, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Ethiopia, Yemen, Maldives. And this is very ironic because some of the world most religious countries are among the countries that's economically low. Kemudian Indonesia di sini juga terlapor warga negara Indonesia itu paling rajin berdoa dan juga memandang agama sangat penting. Everything is considered based on religions. This is the fact that we have. Kemudian kalau ini yang dari Kementerian Agama ya, Kementerian Agama itu baru saja merilis Religiosity Index 2024 ya, yang dalam buku policy briefnya itu kalau kita lihat di indeks religiositasnya itu yang paling tinggi memang kesalahan individu dan ini inline dengan tadi, inline dengan juara berdoa. Sementara pada aspek kesalahan sosial ya itu lebih rendah. Kerukunan umat beragama juga paling rendah dibandingkan aspek yang lain. Komitmen kebangsaan. Jadi ada problem serius pada konteks social relations. But itu tadi indeks religiositasnya tinggi, tapi indeks persepsi korupsi juga tinggi. Ini prestasi kita, jadi dua-duanya juara. Nah, yang berikutnya, I want to explain about the disruption and new challenge, new opportunity, and new competencies. Yang kita tahu bahwa kita menghadapi disrupsi di mana-mana dalam dunia pendidikan tinggi umpamanya. Saat ini kemarin baru aja ada rilis Yusuf Kala itu membutuhkan 20 insinyur yang daftar 2000. Itu untuk bidang insinyur yang di situ seolah-olah bidang sains, bidang teknik yang seolah-olah lebih cerah daripada bidang kita tadi yang kita minta Pak Gus Abdul Somad untuk membuka itu ya. Even in the area that it look like promoting in the future, but the competition is still very high. Bahkan kalau dilihat dari persentase job risk by sektor ya, kita lihat bidang-bidang administrasi, customer service, production work, hukum, education, creativity and art dan manajemen. Ini yang paling terancam ya bidang-bidang administrasi, customer service itu. Pada sisi yang lain, ternyata kita bisa menjumpai ada banyak 10 skill yang dibutuhkan, akan tetapi tidak tersedia. Ini terjadi karena memang ada tantangan baru, tapi opportunity baru, but the new competency are still very low. Umpamanya ini pada aspek creative thinking, analytical thinking, technological literacy, ya. Curiosity and lifelong learning, resiliency, flexibility and ability, talent management, and so on and so on. Dan ini PR kita yang bergerak dalam studi agama-agama untuk bisa menginsersi kurikulumnya dengan skill-skill baru yang dibutuhkan ini. The new skill that's needed by the future job. Pertanyaannya, sudahkah kurikulum SAA kita menginsersi kebutuhan-kebutuhan ini? If you look at to the four domain of global competency, sebenarnya kalau secara umum kebutuhan kompetensi global itu, ini ada beberapa teori, ada teori yang 4, ada teori yang 6. Saya mengambil yang the four domain global kompetensi. Jadi selama anak didik kita dibekali dengan 4 kompetensi global ini, as long as our students supported with these 4 global competency, and the 4 are kompetensi untuk investigate the world. Jadi kemampuan untuk meneliti apa yang terjadi di dunia ini. Dan saya yakin kurikulum kita di studi agama-agama ini sudah sangat kaya dengan kemampuan untuk ngeh dengan masalah-masalah di sekitarnya. Kalau di SAA Jogja, saya yakin banyak sekali mata kuliah yang sifatnya mengajak mahasiswa berpikir, kemudian untuk relate dengan problem di sekitar mereka. Student investigate the world beyond their immediate environment. Bahkan yang dibutuhkan tidak hanya sekedar yang terjadi di sekitarnya, tapi beyond that. Jadi umpamanya berpikir, kok di sekitar saya ada banyak pengemis. Tidak sekedar mengentaskan pengemisnya itu, tapi di belakang sana ada apa ya? Oh, ternyata ada banyak PHK. Kenapa terjadi PHK? Jadi berpikir kemampuan investigate the world itu penting. And then the next competency is about the recognized perspective. Students recognize their own and other perspective. Nah, ini yang tidak mudah. Pengalaman mengajar mahasiswa saat ini itu kalau diminta untuk diskusi, mungkin kualitasnya agak berbeda dengan pengalaman-pengalaman kita ketika dulu kuliah. Jadi mengajak mahasiswa membaca itu sulitnya minta ampun. Apalagi in the era of AI. Mereka sangat instan mencari jawaban. Dan ketika diberi pertanyaan yang agak level atas, itu sudah kebingungan. Ini PR kita saja. And then the next competency is about the communication ideas. Jadi kemampuan bagaimana kita mengajak mahasiswa itu mampu mengkomunikasikan idenya sendiri. Jadi kalaupun mengambil ide dari buku, dari sumber lain, itu kemudian diolah sehingga terbebas dari plagiarisme itu. And the most important thing is ability or competency to take action. Student translate their ideas into appropriate action to improve condition. Nah, pertanyaannya, apakah kurikulum kita sudah mengajari 4 kompetensi global ini? And itu tadi yang 4. Sampingnya itu yang warna-warni itu sebenarnya penjabaran saja ya, extending from 4 kompetensi to 6 ya. Jadi itu ada baik karakter, kemudian ada critical thinking, collaboration, kemudian citizenship, creativity. Nah, untuk mencapai itu kita perlu apa yang disebut dengan deep learning. Nah, deep learning itu kuncinya, the key of the deep learning is about how we teach our student on problem solving, on academic mindset, on critical thinking, on collaboration and effective communication. Dan kalau kita lihat, jadi deep learning yang dikampanyekan oleh Kementerian Pendidikan itu bukan kurikulum. It is about new approach on teaching learning. And we already know many kind of approach on the teaching learnings. In the past, we had what we call cara belajar siswa aktif, student active learning, or we usually call it in the abbreviation as a CBSA. Kira zaman kita SD dulu sangat fundamental ya, CBSA. And then we also have what we call as active, creative, and fun learning. Disingkat PAKEM, pembelajaran aktif, kreatif, dan menyenangkan. And we also have what we call PAIKEM. Jadi punya PAKEM, punya PAIKEM. Ditambahi inovatif. Aktif, inovatif, kreatif, and fun learning. And then we also have what we call CTL, contextual teaching and learnings. Deep learning pada dasarnya adalah strategi baru yang dikedepankan oleh Kementerian Pendidikan itu untuk bagaimana anak-anak dengan kondisi yang sudah sehari-hari tergantikan oleh gadget itu mampu berpikir kreatif menghadapi dan memperoleh kompetensi-kompetensi baru tersebut. So this is about what's the difference between deep learning and surface learning. Jadi kalau surface learning itu ketika kemudian fokusnya itu pada sesuatu detail tapi yang saling terpisah. Kemudian orientasi hasil, mampu membuat ini, dan seterusnya, itu sebenarnya surface learning. Kemudian jadi orientasinya hanya untuk pass the test. Whereas deep learning itu fokusnya nanti ke knowledge integration. Karena itu maka kita ciptakan dengan creating positive learning experience. Jadi pengalaman itu jauh lebih penting. Karena dari pengalaman belajar itu nanti akan mengantarkan apa yang disebut dengan knowledge integration. Kemudian deep learning itu akan mengedepankan apa yang disebut dengan personal understanding. Dalam konteks ini maka learning is seen as an ongoing process. Jadi bukan sebuah hasil akhir, tapi proses yang terus menerus sehingga ada pemahaman personal. Kalau pemahaman personal berarti ukurannya tidak bisa menggunakan ukuran-ukuran yang general. Kemudian deep learning itu to learn for life. Jadi yang belajar untuk kehidupan kita ini. Dan tidak sekedar seperti beda tadi, kalau yang surface learning kan belajar yang penting lulus. Tapi untuk kehidupannya seperti apa? Studi tentang deep learning saya kira udah banyak ya. Bisa ambilkan semuanya dari Inge Mary dan Esther Tamara. Di dalam ilmu komputer itu sudah mengenal dengan learning, tapi learningnya beda dengan ini. Kalau deep learning dalam ilmu komputer itu kan yang nanti menjadi sebetulnya AI itu, karena menyedot data sebanyak-banyaknya kemudian diolah pakai dan untuk AI. Tapi yang disebut dengan deep learning itu lebih pada bagaimana cara belajar. Nah ini kalau kita lihat cara penggambarannya dalam beberapa sosialisasi itu prinsipnya ada proses memahami, mengaplikasi, dan refleksi. Nah saya kira di agama-agama itu sebenarnya tanpa kita sadari sebenarnya proses belajarnya sudah deep learning. Kalau cara belajarnya, apakah kita selama ini sudah mengajak mahasiswa kita, our student to understand, tidak memorize. Kemudian, apakah kita juga sudah mengajak anak-anak kita untuk mengaplikasikan, applicate their knowledge, their skill, dan
setelah mengaplikasikan tidak kalah penting itu adalah proses refleksinya itu. Proses memahami, mengaplikasi, merefleksi ini penting dalam konteks agar kemudian proses belajar studi agama itu betul-betul nanti bisa mengantarkan apa yang disebut next step-nya tadi ke deep religion. Tapi sebelum ke deep religiosity, saya ingatkan ya, akhir-akhir ini 3 tahun ini saya sama Pak Udan itu berteriak-teriak tentang applied religious studies, studi agama terapan ya. Dan ini sebenarnya dari diantaranya kan jangan para alumni atau para mahasiswa yang sedang bidang. The dilemma of our students in studies is about the after graduation from religious studies, what's next to be as a professor for the job. That's why we develop what we call as applied religious studies. Saya sama Pak Uzani tentang di lalu itu dan kemudian kemarin di pidato TV saya juga tentang itu. Tapi paling tidak, this is satu mengingatkan saja. Kalau menurut Carvalho kan ada 4 tipe applied religious studies yang tanpa sadar sebenarnya sudah diterapkan. The first type is about the modern type of applied religious studies. In this context, religious studies used to reduce the role of religion in society in order to promote secular life. In many Western countries, use this studies to put religion just in the corner, not important thing for life. Jadi kebijakan-kebijakan politik sekuler yang menempatkan agama, bahkan simbol-simbol agama yang hadir di ruang itu bagian dari the type of applied religious studies. Apa saja? Dan the second one is postmodernism type of applied religious studies. This is about how applied religious studies as an emancipatory force to empower minority group. Apakah itu race, religion, or gender? Jadi banyak studi-studi agama yang digunakan, tapi sebenarnya for giving voice for the minority. This part of the literature was postmodernism type of applied studies. And then another type is very utilitarian. This is applied religion for welfare, such as promoting economic growth or to address religion to economic stability. Religious studies to detect the potential of the terrorism. Kemudian seperti tadi deteksi dini tentang konflik antar agama, and so on and so on. Itu sebagai masuk kategori yang ketiga. Then the fourth type is about natural law and human rights based applied religious studies. Jika studi agama terapan digunakan for community development through the implementation of human rights from a religious studies perspective. Peta yang sudah terjadi, tapi kemudian belum menjelma dalam sebuah institusi tersendiri atau dalam konteks human resource. But there is, if you look at, there are many practice of applied religious studies. For example, di Jepang itu ada di Sofia University, mereka menggunakan agama terapan untuk program master untuk menargetkan alumninya itu mampu menerapkan studi agama untuk kepentingan interreligious studies, public administration, international relations, bahkan medicine and health. Di Amerika itu State University menggunakan religious studies sebagai nama konsentrasi untuk master program by awarding master certificate in religion and hygiene dan non-profit management organization. Jadi ada certificate course orang-orang yang ingin jadi manajer NGO ya, atau NGO based religion, mereka ngambil mata kuliah atau konsentrasi. The American Academy of Religions, they already have what they call a special working group that have discussed about the direction of applied religious studies in teaching and research for undergraduate and graduate level with analysts from several campuses in the US, like in George State University, Molly Bassett. George State itu tokoh-tokohnya Molly Bassett tadi, Kevin Minister dari Shenandoah University, dari University of Nebraska at Omaha. Mereka yang sangat aktif, bisa kita cek di websitenya AAR. Di Filipina, in the Philippines, they promote what they call as applied theology. Ditawarkan for the Adventist International Institute of Advanced Studies. Ini lagi-lagi untuk master. Kalau di Malaysia, dia membedakan ada applied Islamic Studies, yang itu mungkin untuk mendidik umpamanya calon-calon khotib ataupun imam, kategorikan sebagai applied. And this is a kind of applied religious that we provide mau study. Dalam konteks ini kami menawarkan apa yang disebut dengan studi agama terapan dan dibingkai dalam kepemimpinan di prodi studi agama. Saya sudah ada beberapa yang dibuka. Jadi kita buat tema-tema namanya about the religion, diversity, management, and visibility. Nanti konsentrasi on religion and health, religion and business, religious peace, journalism, and digital civilization, management of religious non-profit organization, pilgrimage and religious tourism, religiometry and religious data science, religion, environmental conservation, and biodiversity. Yang kalau kita lihat, yang 8 tadi kan masuk baru Menteri Agama tadi apa istilahnya? Asta protas, kualitas. Jadi kita bisa masuk di sini dengan menawarkan konsentrasi ini. Bahkan in our paper, we already promote the concentration of minat kajian lengkap dengan kira-kira mata kuliah penduduk. Yang mana itu kita klasifikasikan dan kita tawarkan. Prakteknya, ya nanti bisa kemudian anak-anak itu diberi semacam SKPI. Anak-anak itu memiliki kompetensi skill dalam bidangnya ini, sehingga nanti ketika melamar pekerjaan sudah ada keterangan itu. Kita tinggal menyiapkan oleh mata kuliahnya dan kemudian kita kategorikan, oh anak itu menguasai. Di program master studi agama di Jogja itu sudah ada mata kuliah statistik keagamaan. Ini sebenarnya untuk dorong religius Jakarta tadi. Argumennya, I don't want to read this, can make our paper, yeah. But I do say that how to connect deep learning, applied religious studies, if we done it correctly and comprehensively, we will produce what we call deep religious. Sehingga gabungan antara deep learning yang kemudian nanti dibekali dengan applied religious studies itu akan mengantarkan anak-anak didik, mahasiswa kita atau masyarakat in general, they will have what I call deep religiosity. What is deep religiosity? So deep religiosity is one who practice religion full of one. One who practice religion and they understand and comprehend. Religion atau agama itu dipraktekkan, tidak sekedar diwacanakan. And then cara beragamanya reflektif, enlightening and encouraging. Respect, accept diversity. konflik-konflik dan seterusnya itu kan karena gagal memahami realitas beragam dan nggak bisa menghargainya. And then the third one, the last one, deep religiosity itu ya harus kolaboratif, integratif, holistik, dan parsial. Jadi kalau ada orang yang dikit-dikit ngomong wah hitam putih dari perspektif only black and white, I think this kind of person is not holistic, not integrative. So kalau kalau tadi ada deep learning, surface learning, maka saya juga membuat deep religiosity dan kebalikannya adalah surface religiosity. Nanti bisa dibandingkan model jigsaw religiosity and healthy minded religiosity versi dalam pakarnya ini ya di psikologi agama. Jadi kalau deep religiosity itu cara beragamnya substantif. Cara sebaliknya surface religiosity itu deep religiosity itu meaning practicing religion as a necessity karena kebutuhan. Sementara kalau surface religiosity itu practicing religion just as fulfilling obligation dan menggugurkan kewajiban. Deep religiosity is conscious, effective and inspiring. Surface religiosity following trend, shallow and religion as Islam. Kita agama karena karya. Kita maka kemudian menjadi rajin berdoa. Surface. Ini anak-anak sudah pernah alami putus cinta. Jadi kalau putus cinta puasa Senin Kamis. Ini belum deep. Deep religiosity is joyful and healthy. Dalam surface religiosity depressed, oppressed, and scary, menakutkan pada orang lain. Kalau cara beragama kita menakutkan orang yang berbeda, kita berprogres. Deep religion itu transforming, progressing, problem solver of civilization. Baliknya, surface religiosity, stagnan, textual, and be a burden of civilization. Itu kolaboratif, have a positive impact on his and herself and others. Karena kalau surface religiosity is selfish and causes worry to others. Nah sekarang saya masuk love ini bakal kalau orang sudah punya deep religiosity maka dia akan deep love. In the context of interrelationship, deep love means compassionate love. What is compassionate love? Compassionate love is to really love each other full of compassion. Parameternya ya 5 ini. Jadi yang pertama, deep love dalam konteks hubungan antar agama itu mutual understanding, beyond tolerance, tidak sekedar toleransi. Kalau toleransi itu kan dan silakan kamu menggambarkan kamu itu saya seperti. Tapi yang dibutuhkan adalah toleransi. Rektor kemarin nulis yang menampilkan jadi memaknai baru toleransi dan respect kewarganegaraan sama, equal citizenship. Kalau sudah bisa seperti itu, tidak sekedar toleransi. We have to upgrade our toleration to toleransi. And then excellent communications, not just moderate. Kalau mutual communications itu more than just moderate. And then the third one, understanding differences and beyond interreligious dialogue. Ini kali program dialog antar agama. Tapi program-programnya itu dan Indonesia, many of interreligious dialogue is just look for the similarities. That's not dialogue. So interreligious dialogue look under different. Jadi keberbedaan tidak harus diikuti, tapi silahkan diungkap, tapi dipahami. Kalau dialog hanya dari segi yang sama-sama, kenyataannya sehari-hari kita beda. Jadi understanding differences very important. Not looking at the and then the next is mutual trust. Jadi mutual trust beyond agree and disagreement. Jadi oke deh, saya setuju berbeda, tapi harus kita upscale, harus ada mutual trust. Saya sering mengatakan kalau orang beriman itu kan satu kata-kata amanah, satu kata-kata dengan iman. Maka orang yang beriman itu harus bisa memberikan rasa aman kepada orang lain yang berbeda sama. Dan the last one, who are being benefit. Nah, kalau sudah seperti ini, maka tentunya kita harus saling jaga bersama-sama menghadapi tantangan. Nah, ini saya kemarin juga tanya ke Meta Ayan. Ini saya ambilkan dari Meta Ayan. Apa tahu Mbak Meta bedanya fake love dan deep love? Jawabannya seperti ini. The answer differentiates between deep love and fake love. Fake love that is not genuine or authentic, based on personal interest or impure motive, can involve manipulation or deception, lacks true commitment or loyalty, and then can cause harm or suffering to others. And deep love that is genuine and profound, based on true feeling and strong commitment, involves true loyalty, trust, and care, can bring true happiness and satisfaction, require time, effort, presence, commitment, and that. Jadi kalau jatuh cintanya cepat itu berarti itu fake love. Full time, effort. Itu dulu. Jadi kalau cintai orang kok gampang banget itu jalan-jalan malah saya. Kalau menurut Mbak Meta ini. Next. So this is about respond new policy from the Ministry of Saintek ya. Dan Saintek itu kan mengembangkan what they call as Saintek berdampak. Maka dampak dari studi agama-agama yang kita kembangkan dan pendekatan belajar dan deep learning, berorientasi problem solving, academic mindset, critical thinking, collaboration, effective comparison, kemudian dengan memahami, mengaplikasi, merefleksi, kolaborasi, akan mengantarkan pribadi-pribadi yang memiliki deep religiosity, yang kemudian diperkaya melalui applied religious studies, akan mengantarkan interreligious deep love, agama yang memiliki cinta yang mendalam, but for better interreligious harmony with progress. Apa saya tambahin with progress? Sometimes we talk about interreligious harmony is just for orang Jawa bilang kanan. Jadi hidup rukun, tapi hanya untuk pelipur larat langenan. Sementara peradaban dunia lain, mereka juga berkembang kemajuannya. Teknologi yang berkembang. Nah, kita ingin interreligious harmony, but there are also many progress in many kind of not just for kalau orang hanya kelangan sejarah, not only for memorizing our past, but our life is facing our future and our future need our perspective. Nah, sehingga impactful kampus dalam konteks agama ya, impactful religious studies melalui proses deep learning, deep religiosity, and will lead to interreligious. Dan yang terakhir, saya ambilkan dari Mangu, Semoga bisa terputar lagi. Ya. Di ruangan. Oke. Bangun itu kan tercipta kan tercipta ketika dapat hari Lesmana itu dikatakan oleh temannya dan dia itu seagama, tapi tibalah lapor bahwa dia pindah agama dan semua itu tadinya nggak bisa tidur macam-macam. Kita akan ada terus dan itu lagu itu. Jadi ketika dia ngomong kalau di sana aku di sebelahmu itu memang berbeda, beda arah kiblatnya. Kalau apa, aku menggenggam, aku menadah, itu kan menunjukkan perbedaan cara berdoanya. Dan lagu ini mengindikasikan bagaimana kemudian keluarga tadi bisa berdamai dengan Tuhan. Ketika melihat kenyataan ini, Ali Lesmana tadinya termangu. Apa itu termangu itu? Termangu itu kan kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia kira-kira ya terhina-hina, terbingung-bingung, tergobok-gobok. Kok bisa ya kayak gitu? Maka kalau hidup tanpa deep love ya hanya akan mengantarkan kita hidup yang mudah termangu-mangu. Without deep love, our life easily become death. I think that's from me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very inspiring for us. Kalau manfaat itu harus direspon oleh kita di. Jadi kata-kata awalnya itu yang perlu kita perhatikan, bahwa negara ini adalah negara yang berdoa yang baik, tapi tingkat korupsinya juga bagian dari praktek bahwa mereka akan buat diisyai'atal hasanatan. Jadi kita banyak berdoa itu menutupi kalau kita melakukan kejahatan tadi. Nah ini yang harus diubah. Bagaimana tantangannya adalah religious studies bisa lebih aplikatif, bisa lebih berbeda, bisa lebih menarik, bahwa beragama itu bukan hanya pada ranah, tetapi yang diberi kita harus tunjuk. Saya tahun lalu mewawancarai seorang mahasiswi yang Tuhan, paham ya Pak? Nah, dia bercerita suatu hari di hotel itu yang datang itu topiknya saya lihat dari jendela apa, itu ya, itu yang datang bukan dosennya lah. Cinta. Mungkin boleh di mana-mana itu, sementara dia belum selesai. Wilayah yang harus kita sentuh dengan lagi tawaran proklamasi baik mungkin masing-masing kita sudah harus menawarkan satu mata kuliah pengembangan dan yang dalam beberapa waktu ke depan kita akan mulai kita ya Pak, mungkin bisa ditawarkan, disisipkan di mana memasukkan, mengawali kamu dengan deep learning, golf, maka mudah-mudahan muara kita melahirkan. Okay, the next speaker would be Professor Amarjita. Amarjita will highlight us with idea of attention and from the perspective of religion, other. My host of young mother-in-law is not mother-in-law, mother-in-law. Once my salam of it was not a visit or journey, it was an exercise. Orang Indonesia following of studies can be tried. Go into deep past. I heard the basic association was trying to be part of our level, somehow missed out so far, maybe till tomorrow only. That has been a desire of Indonesian scholars, global. So I'm very happy to invite you. After hearing your full presentation, talking many, I have now time to change my lecture apart response apart about Asai and apart about loving kindness. Because he has taken so much love around. If I say my love to the nobody will buy. Very for that. And now coming first for the response to some of these questions. Why India is not part of that kind of ranking? Many ways the uses of studying the study is part of no job. The system of applied the study is killing the other studies. Also, how first of all, I just see my title of presentation, loving kindness. It's our DNA, integral part of our. I will talk about that. Our problem is that we try to understand the issue of local culture, local understanding by different alien models. Education is very hard of massive. Of 900 years ago, now 900. The best shipping was being done in this report. Study in London School of Shipping. Study any modeling on any process in the world? No. Are they illiterate? By modern concept, yeah, it's like illiterate, uneducated because you don't have degree. And this is so deep now in our heart, we cannot think of a job without degree. Bachelor degree? No. Want to become doctor? All your knowledge is now parameter by the modern understanding of humanity. And we do not know how much money it costs. Similarly, without understanding innovation, example, and it's about science and technology. We have to read and go through the system what is universally applicable and available. For algorithm, go for algebra, go for. You have to follow the same curriculum globally. Become. It's a big question mark. Someday I would like to speak 1 hour for that. Especially why I am asking this question. Because all Asians are very much confused. How to move ahead? Left or go right? What is the meaning of going behind? For me, going behind Indonesia means progressing. For me, it's progressing. For many others, it is not progressing. These are many questions asked by our scholars studying for society and culture. Then we may understand the parameter has to be decided by the from our area. Localization of understanding is very important. Want to learn something about Adat. You don't need good guidance. Don't need. It has been very much important ground for understanding consciousness. Let's say just now integral part of our life. And when I say our life, not only your life, my life, the entire geographical area of Asia. You come from the western of the world, winter Asian, big change. Loud speaking Vietnamese, fighting Chinese at the airports, noise on the street, dirty on the street. All these things become suddenly friends of the hand. We are lucky that we don't use paper, average Canadian. But now we have habit to do that. We cannot go without that. So these are perspective thought to understand, because our study of religion means solving the problem of daily life. Not only thinking of the harmony, but also making each other know better. Also, it means some sort of possibility of love. So, coming back to religious studies and job opportunity, it becomes a problem only when we are understanding study of religion in only one meaning. Then job is, we don't have any opportunity for one. So how to study religion? You have to study different subjects. Yes. Solution of environmental issues. Go through your religious practice. Also study religion. Solve how we go. Social violence. We study the conflict of anthropological study of humanity. Again, religion is important. On the scale of geography and scientific development, of modern meaning. Also, it studies the sexual essence of life. That's why, for me, culture and religion goes together. Culture and religion go together. Because the religion is not religion in our area of Asia. The word Adat is used in Indonesia much more religiously than any country in the world. I can guarantee. When you go into the Arabic meaning of the word, it means practice, not law. But when you practice so devotedly, it becomes like a law. Like for you, taking care of Ibu or father or mother, automatic life. They're not taught eat and their love. There is no requirement of that. When somebody was just eating, he could have brought like a, I'm not blaming anyone, a foreigner taking the cup, telling, no, no, no. But you came on the floor. This is the Adat. This is the Adat of nobody realizes. Coming back, point of loving kindness, I want to write Indonesia is important country. Much, much more than any country. Islam found that after 600 years, India already had Islam. Who brought here Islam? Persia, and then but the response is not like what you have seen in other countries. Today, Yemen has a lot of crises. Internal revolution. Other countries also you talk about happiness and rising fire. Because war continues to be happening in Somalia, Sudan, on the subject of cattle stealing. Cows are stolen and there's a war. Something deep in what we call Nusantara. Every island, 13,000, 15,000, whatever number you count, everybody has the same DNA flowing in the blood. Automatically. Automatically. When we talk about Maitri, Metta, Karuna, all these are not monopoly of India. That's why I'm here not as a Indian, but in a sense of understanding religious studies, Asian model. And then all it comes to why become much more to adjust. I referred to my few cases about how this practice is about ahimsa. Ahimsa is not a creation of Mahatma Gandhi. Not from, it is from Veda. Doesn't mean that today I said, oh, Mahatma Gandhi, go away. Hey, packaging. What? Very more. What? Can be Buddha, can be what you call India, about Wali Songo. This from self, Wali Songo. Not anybody. Here it is deep, very deep. Because we have ancient tradition of Rishi, travelers from other part of the world coming here, spreading companionship, compassion. That's why it was Hindu or Buddhist ideas which came. The most accepted place in the world is. You have never heard of fighting for or fighting for what is today Cambodia and Thailand where we have never fighting for Ramadan. In the country where 4 years ago we started Abhisheka in Ramadan. Yeah. Don't go far away. The country which established as Saraswati in Washington DC for Indonesia only possible. In our study of religious studies, we have to highlight these powerful things which shape up the world. World needs world learn from India. There are many aspects of this loving. Referring the word, when you love deep, you deep without any desire for it. Concept. When you some fruits and vegetables to your neighbor in your farming area, you don't expect any return. In other countries, it's required. When you go for a party, you have to carry it. Very much happening now in our areas of country, India. When children go for happy birthday of some classmate, they also carry something after. This is not in our concept. We have love and devotion without. Yesterday, a beautiful dinner about how the Western concept makes us think in a different way, like money, like ideas of yes. I was referring to Terry Makasi was not known. Was not. Many subjects just become translation of English to our life. They become source of politeness. Source of politeness. I don't see that. But our system expression of love, when you get some gift from or anything from anyone, don't say democracy alone. But express by your eyes. Rise it down. And not some tear come onto you. That is 1 million. 1 million, thank you. It goes deep down on the people giving, on the creates a spirit in the people around our India to heal. That's why all different sort of religion. Religion for you, we are using the term agama. We are not using the other word. Whatever agama is for religion. Because agama has a different meaning. It comes specifically, yes, approach without hurting, without hiding, without doing problem. You go outside, the word agama is missing. Why I want that if the lecturer does not have study on the model of what we are talking today, the world will okay. When you become member, Almighty supports us. The benefit of the humanity, the benefit of understanding our people, their eyes, their study. We are most understudied because we have not studied our system of life, our ancient, our love, affection, very much commonly known and about that. When I was telling myself about this copy here, later on, Rahma, Rahim, all the secular part of Indonesia. Other countries, the world, just for example, Bangladesh or other countries, they have this concept. But here, the Indonesian concept of understanding, purely compassion of deep love, like what you say, is not here. Except those concepts which come from powerful countries in the world, and we see fake or presented by Ms. Donald. Deep. That comes with deep tea. Our depth goes into mind and doesn't go out, it comes from there to heart. It remains up and down. This is regularity power. For metta or lovingness, was just study more and more, and I assure you, study religious studies in this format will be no important job missing. One job of police, you have to understand the ancient system of how was regulated the Kota or Pura or whatever name they have for Nagara or those concepts. The most available today is Javanese state. Javanese. Unfortunately, only 1% is done. 99% not yet. Not yet. I also make a promise to all of you here. I am here to promote Javanese study. Believe me, I will be put whatever the best can be done. So that is our modern archaeology, our changing. Not disappear. I just met young girl today at lunch. Wrote my name. Javanese. I can read some of these Javanese. I no Indian, but I can read because the deep connection of language. Why Sanskrit language more only in the country of Anand? Why? There is this deep love, accept and adopt. So much so that today, many I want to know about India, I must come. Believe me, no joke. I will be lost. In our part of the world, education, learning, can have attack for burning. So, whatever reason, I don't want to be of that. We have lost 1 million, 5 million, 6 million manuscript burned last 700 years. That time the country is protecting our. I cannot live without you. Asia cannot live without you when you have long term. You understand? Oh God. It has many important scientific policy. Methodology. You can find from this. Let us set our association with becomes a source of generosity, young generosity, benefit, jobs, all love in the family. Basically, I want to announce why the left and right. All is right in the dunya, all established by the different parameters. Today, you give rich mineral like titanium or lithium in from Sulawesi, then so you supply mineral to make your body. Then why suddenly girls from Venezuela become Miss World, Miss Universe? Why? So many Venezuelans. Why? Because oil is cheaper than USA and they sell without tax. Now they stop. No more Miss World. The internal game behind all ranking, the parameter they decide not only by natural way but also by political way. The entire IT space, NASA, all is taken by all Indians from the USA. Tomorrow USA is ready. They are not counted. That's why our love is original, but their intelligence is artificial. Why not say real intelligence, RI? We are RI. Country also in short we say RI. RI, but AI is supplementary because we believe in artificial, we believe in originality. Mohan Maaf, I spoke from different angle, but my heart was burning with there, connected with God. Next time I try to come, why? Wow. I will be happy. Once again.